All right, hello, everybody.
Ah! We did it! We made it! I lied.
The mic. There we go. We're good now. Yo!
We did it despite all the hiccups. We made it.
Against the odds, dudes. Hi guys, how's it going? My name is Justin.
And I'm Philip.
And you're watching and are listening to episode 489 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. It's been an eventful week for me, but how you guys doing first and foremost?
Doing good.
Doing pretty good. You know, this is the first Saturday in a while where I could say, you know what? I'm having a damn good day so far.
You actually look good. I'm looking at your face cam right now. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of light. There's a lot of detail.
I just opened the blinds.
He opened the blind. He actually let himself get some vitamin D.
No, it wasn't like that. It's because, like, typically when I do streams, it's at night anyways. And so, like, I don't have, like, natural sunlight coming in to brighten the room up. Actually, it's not even that bright behind me. I just have the green light going.
It's the only light, really.
Yeah. But, like, right now, you know, while we're doing the podcast during the day, I'm just like, you know,
Whoa. That's so bright, bro.
So we could just leave that here. I don't even have to turn on my little studio light. So
I can attest to it that yes, like at night when all the blinds are down and it's just naturally dark, it's pretty dark in that room. And it's supposed to be like that, but you know,
yeah.
It almost feels like you're in a cave.
Yeah, I one day I hope to get electricity running up here so I could put like a fan / like light here.
A central light. Ah, okay.
Yeah, central lighting. One, we need a fan in here because like I during the summer this room sucks. But you know, getting an actual light all over the room is the big issue.
I see.
You should get those big bright ass LED panels.
You know, we have these things, these light panels. I wouldn't say light panels because they're literally like long like light bulbs in our office room. And I cannot complain about like how bright and clean like everything looks over there. We just don't stream, or I don't even use that like place anymore. Not to clarify, not our like old office space, but the office room in my house right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't go wrong with those lights. Although you have to buy specific ones for that to work.
Nah, I was thinking more like the brighter like white lights. So like when we actually, or at least maybe something like what I have with this light, some bulbs that change. So I'm like, maybe the normal yellow hue when we're like normally in the game room, but when we do recordings and stuff like that in here, actually brighten it up.
I see. You're not thinking about any like strip lights or anything like that?
Maybe.
I was thinking about that.
We got a lot of potential, yeah.
A lot of potential. But yeah.
It's true. But yeah, no, I'm having a good day so far. We went and did some errands, got some breakfast. Got some Starbucks.
Nice.
Spent some time with the wife. We were just chilling.
It's good to hear. What games have you guys been playing thus far this week?
Probably Frontiers of Pandora and Lethal Company, probably.
Nice.
How's
your Lethal Company gameplay going?
Hilarious.
Hilarious, he says.
Hilarious is the best description for that game, yes.
Hilarious, but could also be a little terrifying.
Yeah, because it could be scary, but
there's a lot of funny that goes on with that scary.
A lot of funny is like that's like the most gross, like it's a gross understatement of what that game is, but yes, it's good stuff.
Especially with the mods. Mods is like the #1 way to play the game.
Have you been doing mods?
Oh yeah, I do mods like 99% of the time.
Nice.
We got those fart reverb mines on, you know. We had a loot bug set. We had a loot bug set off like 4 of those in a row.
Jesus Christ.
His hair burn.
That's funny.
There's also a mod that a mod that decides to for the jester that cranks itself, little jack in the box, and
Oh,
starts playing
yeah.
Freebird.
Huh?
It starts playing Freebird by Leonard Skinner.
Yep.
Well, like where the
Jeez.
solo starts, right?
No, it plays the beginning of the song, and when the jack in the box pops out,
Oh, it literally starts up with it's the full song.
yep. And as soon
That's
as the jack in the
incredible.
box pops out and starts chasing you, that's when the solo starts.
The
So you're just
free bird, yeah.
so you're literally just running as you hear chasing behind you.
That's incredible.
Geniuses.
I have a clip from my friend's channel of one person I know literally like you're like, oh god, here it comes, and you just hear as it goes running at him, and you just hear him scream.
But Mark, it's real gamer shit this week. I need you to tell me how Avatar is because I need your opinion on it.
Mm.
You are a person who finds the good in the games. So I want you to sell me Avatar Frontiers of Pandora besides the visuals because that's the only thing that's selling me on that game right now. What's the core gameplay loop like? Is it like Far Cry?
My dog opened my door as usual. Give me a second.
Dog said, "Pay attention to me. It's me time."
He's doing a terrible job at selling me this game right now.
No, the dog's actually coming in here to tell you about why you should buy Avatar.
As someone who's not like a fan of the series,
Okay.
that's the thing.
Oh,
Or not. Let's not say fan. Let's say it's not like I'm going out of my way to try and watch it.
If I was to say like what the gameplay is good. It feels nice. The abilities and stuff like that you unlock, they definitely improve the way the game feels. You can do to like update your play style and everything. The map, very big, very cool to see everything. Like the gameplay is similar to Far Cry, but of course with some superhuman aspects to it, considering you're a Navi and not a human being.
Hmm.
Like it's not like with Jake Sully in the movie where you were a human who became a Navi. No, or just a person in an avatar. No, you are a pure blood Navi.
Oh,
Okay.
You play as a Navi who was stolen from their tribe, which is reminiscent of some things that did happen in history where Native American children were kidnapped from their families
oh,
and raised in Western homes or just Western society in general.
Okay.
And basically this is them. Basically, after you escape, you're basically finding yourself. You're reconnecting with Awa, which is what they call the planet, or
Oh,
it's basically their god in a sense.
I see.
And it's all pretty interesting. And there's a good amount of wildlife, so there's plenty, and there's lots of crafting, lots of different stuff you can do. Like I'd say I only had 2 complaints.
Okay.
One, I would have liked more weapons.
Okay.
Okay. Is it like? Let me be very clear about what I'm about to ask. Are they like the cookie cutter weapons, like a machine gun, shotgun,
Heavy machine gun,
bow and arrows?
Yes and no.
Okay. There's some fun weapons then.
It's like for your guns, yes, you have an assault rifle and a shotgun for your guns.
Oh, okay.
And for your Navi weaponry, you have the longbow, the heavy bow, the short bow, the I believe it's called the
Oh, the bows have variations.
Yes, there's the heavy bow, which is a heavier draw, which does more damage. There's the long bow, which is the nice middle ground, and there's the short bow for rapid.
Okay.
And each bow, depending on the bow you've crafted, each of them will have different arrow types they specialize in. Some do storm arrows, some do grenade arrows, some do a couple different things. Poison arrows, fire arrows.
Okay.
And I know there's hole breaker arrows. There's and with the guns, of course, there's different types of assault rifle. There's different variations of the assault rifle and shotguns. Then there's you can find a rocket launcher. It's just a pickup though. You can't keep it. It's just a pickup you can find.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there's also I believe it was called the seed thrower. It is basically like, if I was to describe what it's like, are you familiar with lacrosse?
Yes.
Imagine the lacrosse stick.
Oh, like a.
Yeah,
Got it.
you use it to chuck things, like you could set traps with it.
Okay, that's cool.
And then there's the spear thrower. It's basically a launcher that helps you throw a spear.
Yeah, that's kind of implied in the name.
Yeah. And let's see, is that all? I'm trying to think. That might be everything.
Hell yeah.
And there's also some stun grenades.
Okay.
And of
Because
course, there's your armor slots as well.
I am interested in picking it up. You know,
Mhm.
like it does look really cool, and like people are touting it as like some of the best visuals these modern consoles can output.
Honestly, if I had a 4K TV, I think my eyes would be like unable to handle this, because it's like, it's so pretty.
Yeah, see, I have a 4K TV, and I would like to see that. So
I remember when I played Sea of Thieves on my brother's 4K TV, and I was like, my eyes.
oh yeah, because that has a native Series X version, huh?
It's
Yeah,
pretty
especially
sick.
because I'm not used to seeing that high definition, so I'm like, my eyes.
Are you running a 1080p TV?
Basically.
Okay.
So it still looks good.
Yeah.
And there's my other complaint. I really would have liked if I could have more mounts.
Okay. Traversal.
Because well, the traversal's fine, but I would have liked to have been able to have more mounts in terms of options of wildlife to use for whether it be attacking bases or just getting across the map.
Oh, you only have the one.
You have two. There's the Ikran, which is the flying one, which is going to be your main use all the time. And of course, they give you an option of names. I chose Floof because it's Floof.
Makes sense. You know.
She is a good girl. And then there is this is a temporary tame. It's not permanent like your Ikran. But if you see a dire horse, you could walk up to it and tame it.
Cool.
That's
Ah.
after you reach the upper plains. That's when you unlock the ability to tame dire horses. And unfortunately, because I was like, oh man, that's a little disappointing, because I was like, I still like it. It's still cool and fun, but I was like, man, I would have liked to been able to tame like the hammerheads or the what's it called? The Thanator, which is like the panther-like animal in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah. I do know what you're referring to.
Because you could do that in the original Avatar game that Ubisoft made.
Ubisoft made another Avatar game before?
Yeah, if you Google it, you'll see it.
Shut the hell up,
it's
Mark.
Googling time.
Are you gaslighting me right now, Mark?
No, I played the game.
Give me a minute. Oh my god, you're right. I totally forgot about this game, dude. The one that's based on the first movie, right?
It actually was not bad.
Oh my god.
Like, honestly, it's not a bad game.
I totally forgot.
And this one gave you the choice to play as the Na'vi or the RDA.
It's a prequel, right, to the movie?
Somewhat, yeah, and you kind of end up in the same situation as Jake Sully, being
Oh
transferred
my
into
god,
your
it's a
avatar's body.
PS3, 360, and Wii game. I forgot about this game, dude.
It's called Avatar: The Game.
The game.
It actually was.
Ubisoft actually did this. Wow.
It actually was not bad. It was a third-person game.
There you go, Phil. Something to like pick up.
Look into, yeah. I gotta look into this. This is kind of wild. You just blew my mind, Mark.
It's also on it's on the Nintendo DS as well.
In that game, you could tame the Thanator, and that I was like one of my favorite mounts to use.
It seems to be version differences as well. Oh no, I'm gonna go into a whole rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a
I'm
PSP
gonna go
one?
into an entire.
assuming
Yeah,
probably-
there is
Probably
a
the Wii game.
there's a PS3 version, a 360 version, a Wii version, a Nintendo DS version, and a PSP version.
I'm sure like a lot of the differences come in like the PSP and Wii versions. They have to.
No, the Wii version uses, according to Wiki, which could be wrong. This is the worst sources ever. But according to the wiki, the Wii version uses the Wii remote controller for combat and firing bows. The 360 version has a wider range of controls that allows the players to ride animals and drive vehicles. But it doesn't say anything about the PS3 version.
Maybe the same thing.
I assume it's probably the same thing as the
one would hope,
Xbox.
you know.
No, there is differences. There are differences apparently.
And it also had multiplayer.
It had multiplayer.
It had PvP.
It didn't.
Tanuki Deathmatch, bro.
Dude, me and a friend of mine would go against. I'd always go Navi. He'd go RDA.
It didn't review highly though. Highest
bad.
reviews was the mobile game. So
the mobile game.
I didn't think it was a bad game at all. Like the game to me was passable.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't like incredible, but
it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to look into this.
Look into it.
Podcast.
Add it to Tanuki Deathmatch, please.
But like,
I'll have to look into this.
But there was also like, you know, like in the game, there's the hammerheads, which I was like, oh, it would be cool to be able to tame one of the hammerheads. Which obviously, if you've seen those in the movie, big heads.
Big head.
Yeah.
But of course, there's the storm gliders. There's there's like a bunch of different animals in the game where I was like, man, that would have been cool. Like I just came across this one that's like a rhino, and I was like, oh, that would have been fun. It's like, and I said they're gonna be adding a little bit of DLC, so I hope they add in like at least one or two more mounts or something like that, maybe a little extra weapons, or at least in a sequel maybe. Because I feel like what they have going here, I think this could definitely warrant a sequel, unless they want this to be their one and only. But honestly, I feel like it's a good thing. I think this is it'd be a good direction to go for a Far Cry like that's not Far Cry is the Avatar series. I think it works really well here.
All right. I will definitely
that.
be checking it out. Maybe in the future, but
that is very interesting to like just jump to that lore a little bit.
I know.
I should probably.
What have I been playing?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, what have I been playing? Let's see. This week I've been playing two things. Well, besides what I'm playing on stream, you know, I beat WarioWare Move It.
Oh, nice.
On the Thursday backlog tackle. That was pretty funny. The game is super short. Like every other WarioWare game, it's pretty short just to run through it and get to the end. But the entire point is the replayability. It's like you go back into those story mode stuff and get all the micro games and check out all the new stuff, like as much as you can. And then playing the remixes that essentially makes you have to, on the fly, change what you're doing, like to adapt to every single micro game being thrown at you. I will say that game is 100% a sequel to WarioWare Smooth Moves in every sense of the word. If you've ever played Smooth Moves, they have the whole little like weird bit where before you learn a new quote unquote form, it does this weird narration that's like super soothing and like explains to you. He makes jokes in the driest like form of like in the driest delivery possible. So like the baka form, and put your Joy-Con on your nose and one on your rear, and you have to look like a chicken. And so he says, baka. Use the form.
Baka.
In your senses form. Yeah, like, and it's like that voice, and it's unironically funny. Also, full voice acting. Full legitimate voice acting, which people were upset because it was in WarioWare Gold for 3DS, but they skipped it with Get It Together. They brought it back for this one, so there's full cutscenes, full like voice acting. It's gonna take me a little bit of time to get used to Wario's new voice, but it is the new voice actor doing it, Kevin Afghani.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Also, Nintendo ain't stupid. They kept the Nintendo micro games for the like semi-finale. Like they left them towards the very end of the game.
Nice.
And those were fun. There's one where you gotta hold your Joy-Cons like this, like a sword, and you gotta pluck Pikmin. There's one where you're chasing a cuckoo in Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And it's specifically that version, so it's like the higher res, like Link running.
Oh my god!
It looks so funny. There's one where you gotta hold the Joy-Cons like this, like a shovel, and you gotta dig like Animal Crossing. It's good.
Oh wow!
It's awesome. I thought it was really fun. I need to try to give you a final verdict on that game. We need to play it in multiplayer because that's half the game.
Fair enough.
So we got to try that out soon. Maybe tomorrow when we're not recording. We'll see.
Fair enough.
But that was cool. I beat that in the backlog stream. We played through Tekken Tag Tournament. That was a wild time too. But really off a stream, I've been playing Pikmin 1, the original.
Mm-hmm.
I am playing the Switch HD ports. You know what I mean? And yeah, they are definitely basic ports. Like they didn't do much. Yeah, apparently it's the same engine that they did. It's the same GameCube emulation engine that they're using for Mario Sunshine on 3D All-Stars. So it's just native widescreen, native 16:9, higher resolution textures, but the frame rate is capped at 30. So that matches the original game. So there's nothing wrong. Like it's literally like if you're playing the GameCube game, it looks a little sharper. That's all it is. And by that point, I think that's fine. If that's a way to get certain games on the Switch, by all means, I am mad about it. I will say I've never actually beaten Pikmin 1 in my life. I know. Revoke my Nintendo fan card right now. But
I'm submitting the request.
Yeah. But I'm getting close. I'm really close to beating the game. The game's not long. I'm on the last area before I know of the game. I know how the game ends, but I'm on the last area before you have to fight the Queen Bulborb. And I'm scared to fight her because let me tell you something I forgot about this game. If you thought Brawl was bad with tripping, let me tell you right now, your Pikmin can trip if they're not like the flowers.
Oh no.
So they're all just running and then someone would just be like, oh,
oh
they just
no.
left behind. And I'm like, no, homie, we gotta go.
Oh, God.
So I'm planning on playing the whole series from 1 to 4 solo. So I'm usually Katrina and I play the series together, and we basically played all of them together. Well, the ones that have co-op multiplayer. So I'm planning to play it all solo and just kind of experience that on my own for the first time. Which would mean that I'm also going to play Pikmin 4 by myself, like without Katrina eventually. So that's going to be on my file because we're playing it on her Switch. So it's a separate file. But that's the Pikmin 1 is the big thing I've been playing. The other game I've been playing this week is, I know Philip playing a retro game is not out of the norm, but I've been actually playing Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island.
Okay.
You know, it's a game that I've beaten before. You know, I have vague memories of beating it, but never 100%ed. And I told myself, this is the year. I got to do it. I gotta do it. But there's a twist. The Switch has both. It has the SNES version on the SNES app and the GBA version, which adds an extra levels.
I forgot something. I should also add that Frontiers of Pandora is co-op playable.
Oh yeah, online, huh?
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
I'm playing both of those back to back. So like I'll do one world on SNES and then I'll go to the GBA version and I'll play that world again. And yeah, that's been something. I get to notice the differences because when I was a kid, I didn't actually play the Super Nintendo version. I played the Game Boy Advance version. Boy, was I deprived of the good music on the Super Nintendo version. The Super Nintendo version is superior in terms of like how it plays and looks, but the GBA version does have extra levels, so you know, give or take. So that's what I've been playing. I haven't been playing much. Been really just kind of. I have another game I've been playing, but it's kind of it's a demo, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But I think I'm really just kind of prepping for next week because on Friday we're gonna stream another Code Recollection. So,
oh yes,
yeah, that's the first big Switch pickup this year.
Oh, apologies. I'm just make sure I'm monitoring everything. Make sure everything's good.
Yeah, no, you're good. But yeah, before we get into the topics, we do have some actual topics this week because this is real gamer shit this week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of stuff. I just want to get these out of the way, like the ones that are not gaming related out of the way, though. Marvel is officially adding the Netflix shows into the canon. Like they're literally go to Disney Plus right now, and they're in the timeline now.
Oh,
like I guess Echo confirms that they're all canon. I don't know how that works exactly. It's hard to keep up with what Disney likes to do. I don't know.
It's gonna get complicated, is what it is.
Yeah. I'm just here. And then
you just pick your favorites and then move with it.
Yeah, and then Star Wars, I guess apparently Mandalorian season 4 is not happening because they're gonna do a Mandalorian movie.
Which I'm not opposed
to. Can you repeat that again? I can't quite hear that.
So Mandalorian season 4 is not happening because they're gonna do a Mandalorian movie.
I'm not opposed
I heard that, but Mark, what did you just say?
I said I'm not opposed to it.
No, prior to that.
Cool.
All right, I guess that
he said movie. That's what he
said. Movie. Yeah, I thought you said the equivalent.
Yeah. You
all right.
thought he said something that rhymes with movie.
Yeah. All right, carry on.
Yeah. I think that's fine, I guess. Also in Star Wars news, I guess reportedly in the works is a what if style like animated series for Star Wars. And like that's interesting. We'll see. There are a lot of what ifs that could have happened, you know.
Gotcha. Roger.
So that's Roger. So that's really all the non-gaming stuff that I really had or anything that I could bring up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Unless you guys got something else.
I got something, but it's just been like the past week, and it's just been it's been a mixture of both like just typical work stuff and also just kind of reestablishing like the entire setup of the stream and recording stuff to a new PC. So if we've done a relatively good job at just like keeping it like the standard podcast like vibe, then good. I did a good job at making sure that like remains the same. But I literally had to move a lot of my resources over to like another PC because the other PC was starting to reboot unprompted multiple times since like Monday morning. So that was the indicator like we need to do something about this because if it happens on a stream, then that stream gets kaput and everything else does too. So I spent this past week in and out of it because of work and everything like that. It's just trying to establish everything back to how it was. I think there was a better way to connect everything back onto OBS, but I chose to just try everything like from fresh start and just see if there's any improvements I could add to it. And it definitely delayed this podcast, but everything should be all right. I did want to say though, I was using the Genki Things Shadowcast series of capture cards, having some issues as far as like just integrating it into the PC stuff more than using the iPad to connect to it because iPad's great. I have no issues, but I'd rather have everything on OBS instead. So just a report on my end that that stuff is kind of complicated, and I might move back into Elgato stuff, especially since CES is hinting at a new little internal capture card from Elgato that I'm looking into. That would be like super future proofing that, as well as the what was it, the AV1 stuff that Twitch is going to be doing since they're collaborating with Nvidia and I think OBS on that. So you might be seeing some higher quality streams. Maybe not from like my like stuff because I'm limited on internet. but other people are going to be like outputting some really high quality streams. So look forward to that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of tech stuff there. In addition to the gaming stuff.
Justin, you got any pickups this week?
No. I've been pretty chill so far since last week.
Okay.
What you got?
I only got two.
You only got
Switch
two
related for the first time in a long time.
Oh,
but they are Nintendo related, and they're not really like new pickups. Let me explain.
The Bratz Raw Angels.
Stop. I've actually
there's the Rock Angels too.
Yeah, it's called Diamonds, and I own it as well. I hate it. I hate it here. But so as much as a physical collector as I am, you know, when I was younger, and I can get my hands on things, obviously, like for instance, like Game Boy and Game Boy Advance game stuff, I'll buy loose, like carts. I don't buy in complete boxes because those are like cardboard and they wear out over time, and you know what I mean?
Sure.
Portable games for me when I started collecting like with in box would be like DS, PSP, because those have actual cases that can sit on a shelf and look good. So naturally, I have 3 DS games that I had loose, and when I was looking for them the other day, mind you, I was freaking out because I didn't know where I put them. And they're all really expensive first-party Nintendo games, and so I was like, "Oh no!" And it's funny because I look at the shelf, and I'm just like, I could have sworn I had these games, and then I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I do, just not like not with the box." So I fixed at least 2 of those this week. I got 2 boxes in to complete the game, so it can sit proudly on my shelf because these are actually really dank games. I'll do it in order of what I think is fun. Let's see. I got the legendary Starfy. Yes, the legendary Starfy. If you don't know what this game is, first of all, you might recognize the character. He's in Smash. He's the butt of the joke whenever you get the assist trophy. You know, he just kind of spins and you can smack him. It's pretty funny. But in Japan, this is the 5th game in the series.
Huh?
This is our only one. This is our only one in the States.
Only one.
The only one. That's why it's called the Legendary Starfy. But in Japan, this is the Legendary Starfy 5.
Done in like Fire Emblem again.
Yeah, they actually have 4 Game Boy Advance games in this series.
Whoa.
In Japan. So this is the first DS one. I think it's the only DS one. I think the series ends here, but I could be wrong on that one. But essentially, if you like Kirby, you'll like Legendary Starfy. It's kind of got the same vibe. The idea of like changing into forms and stuff like that. It's not like you don't just like suck and swallow though for like the abilities. It's not like that. You just like end up getting these specific powers. Like he can turn into a dragon, or he can turn into like something else. But it is very
don't just suck and swallow good enough.
Yeah. Well, it's Kirby. Duh.
Kirby is for like all audiences.
I set Phil up too much where he's like, I tried to get over.
I tried to get away with that comment when I said it, and then I was like, I'm gonna just keep going. But I did have this cartridge loose for a long time. So I got OG boxes. Like these are actual like DS cases. So
cool.
I wanted to make sure I got them loose. So
nice,
basically have a complete copy now. I got them both with the instruction.
Is it a direct sequel or just like a kind of like just a DS version?
It is a direct sequel. It's technically in Japan. This is number 5.
But they play it off as it's like the first here.
Or I guess
in the West. Yeah. Well, the character only got popular because he's in Smash Brothers Brawl.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so everyone's like, well, who the hell is this star thing? His name is Starfy.
He also happens to look like the star that Rosalina has.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does look a little bit like a Luma, huh?
It looks a lot like a Luma.
He does kind of give like a Kirby vibe, though, as far as the design.
If you actually see the in-game, like the game running, you'd be like, oh damn, no, this looks like a Kirby game.
I think I see it. Yeah, screenshots.
It's not even developed by HAL. I think it's Tosei.
I see it.
Sakurai
Yeah,
has nothing to do with it.
Tosei. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good game. It's a very fun game. Justin, you would really like that game. That's a big Justin game.
Is it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you would like that game.
Give it. Hand it over.
My dead body.
Give.
And while we're on the subject of games people in this chat or in this room would like, the other one, I've been meaning to get a replacement case for this because this I'm upset at myself that I let this sit loose in my like little like case for so long.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, because like I hate myself because this is like genuinely people don't know that this exists in the States. And it's like weird because everybody brings up the GameCube one because that is the goated one. But
That's the one that we all know.
yeah, but nobody knows that there is let me not say that. Let me say I think this is the 6th game in the series because Japan obviously has the other ones. Because I think the GameCube one is the 4th one. I have to double check, but this bad boy is Custom Robo Arena.
Custom Robo Arena.
Yeah, so I know, right? Look at that. Ooh. So this is for I'm gonna speak about this game as us, like Americans. All right, this is the 2nd game in the series for us. I believe this is the last time they released a custom Robo game for us. Unfortunately,
which is a missed opportunity with today's technology.
Absolutely missed opportunity because this series is goated. The GameCube one is phenomenal. I think I still prefer the GameCube one over this one, right? But I will say that the actual customization on your robos in this game and the actual like playing, because it's okay. The overworld is kind of like Pokemon. It's sprite based. It's 2D. You're moving around in the overworld. Think like old school Pokemon. You get the gist of it. But when you're in battle, it is fully 3D. It is exactly playing like a normal custom robo game. And so like the arenas are all varied. The way you get to customize your weapons on your robos are the same. It's really good. It's even got wireless multiplayer. It's even got download play. I didn't know that. That's kind of wild. Nobody needs to own a copy of this game. We can just play it off of this thing. We'll see how that works, and at the time, it had Wi-Fi. This is the only custom robo that had online play in America.
Hey.
Yeah, Mark, I know you really like custom robo for GameCube. I think you would really like this game. It's basically a sequel in all the right words. Like, it's really good.
Oh, it's been forever since I played custom robo.
I know. That's what I was feeling too. Like, I started it up again just a little bit just to kind of get around it. And I was like, you know what? I really miss Custom Robo. I need a copy of Custom Robo for GameCube in my collection. I don't have it.
There's one GameCube game I would play the shit out of, and I doubt you have it in your collection.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's Bratz.
Let me look at the Bratz. How'd you know? No. Let's see if I can find the actual title.
Okay.
Remember, I found this at my local mall's GameStop years ago.
It might be one of those rare games that I don't have, but the thing is, like, I know a lot of the GameCube library. My problem is GameCube games are like basically collecting Saturn games,
It was Zoid's Battle Legends.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have that game, but it's actually not that expensive. Actually, that one's not that bad.
It's like in my opinion, it's the best Zoids game.
It probably is the only good Zoids game in my because there was one on Switch recently and it's not good.
There's Japanese ones that are fighting games that I've heard are pretty good.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. But
I've seen this cover before. Battle Legends.
The cover's fire.
Yeah, I need to look into getting that. But no, GameCube games are really expensive, and so that's why like Custom Robo eludes me because it's like a $100 game.
Apparently, Zoids
and like
is too.
As much as is it really?
Yeah, I see it's on Amazon. You can get there, but
no, not Amazon. Go to eBay.
Oh, I want to go eBay. Oh, okay.
Wait, is it on Amazon?
It is on Amazon, yes. But yeah, let's check eBay.
Zoids GameCube. We're gonna do a live check, guys. It's Zoids Battle Legends, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Why is this on eBay?
$50.
Okay, that's better. Well, it might be lacking a couple things, but
terrible.
GameCube
Not
disc.
terrible. Oh, Tommy made this game. Okay. They're known for the or helping with, at least, in publishing the Naruto Clash of Ninja games.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
You know, what's funny is I think you said it was Tori.
Tommy.
It's
Tommy
actually it
and
is
the-
Tommy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know the people who worked on Clash of Ninja are helping with the current game right now, which is going to be a Hunter x Hunter fighting game,
Oh, Aiding.
which is Nen Impact.
Yeah, Aiding's actually a really good company. They actually do a lot of good stuff.
Hmm.
One of their best fighting games is one of my favorites. It's also a Wii game. I don't know if they helped Capcom, but they are the ones who helped with Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Mm.
Is that because
So-
the people who are making the Hunter x Hunter game are the same people who worked on Clash of Ninja
Mhm.
and Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they helped with MVC3 and Tatsunoko versus Capcom. They're also known for another fighting game series that I am forgetting off the top of my head, but yes. Yes.
And it is confirmed it's going to be a 3v3 fighting game.
Yep. It's gonna be an MVC style game, baby. We back. We're
And
we're
Hunter-
so back, Mark. We're
And
back.
Hunter x Hunter fans are like, whoa!
I
But
have
those-
not personally watched the anime, but I won't lie to you. I don't care what the property is. If it's a good fighting game, I'm there.
No, Hunter x Hunter is like one of those series that everyone is usually admits is like pretty top tier.
I'm sure. I've heard good things.
I don't know.
But
We'll have to wait
Yeah,
and see
no.
because what was the other like? It was Full Metal Alchemist, and Square was actually like working with that. And but
those are actually low key pretty good.
yeah, but the
Full Metal
problem is, I
Alchemist
think, well,
Yes.
recently there was like one for mobile, but you probably know what happened
No,
to
we
that
don't
one.
talk about that one. No, we don't talk about that one. No, I'm talking about the Square Enix actually developed the PS2 games back in the day.
Mm.
I remember I've seen the PS2 cover arts before. I never played them, but I'd seen them.
Those are made by Square. They're really good.
Yeah, I see the Square Enix thing on the bottom. When did they made a mobile game recently?
The thing about well, it's gonna be gone soon. But the thing about like anime games back in the day, or really in general, you got three categories. They're either completely bad, they're flawed but good, and you like them because you like the property, or they're
Right.
actually just really good games.
Yo, what are these graphics on this Full Metal game? This wild.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, the mobile game?
Yeah, these graphics are actually really good.
See, but yeah,
Yeah, it's shutting down. It's the Persona curse.
That's unfortunate.
the Persona. Yeah, I know that about the Persona
Anytime,
curse.
anytime a mobile game gets Persona crossover, it's about to end.
Mm.
It got a Persona crossover and it's still being shut down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so did
yeah, a lot of-
Dragalia Lost and some
Yeah.
other games. Yeah,
What I'm hearing is the only one to survive is Grand Blue Fantasy.
yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. In fact,
Yeah.
it's only flourished since then.
What makes me sad is Grand Blue Fantasy developer is the one who made Dragalia Lost. Like that makes no sense.
They said it probably just wasn't as. It probably just didn't have the same
No.
staying
Well,
power.
And Nintendo published it, so they probably didn't push it as hard as they should have been.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's
yeah,
rough.
so those are my only two pickups. I am planning to get the third game in my collection if everybody's curious. It's WarioWare Touched.
Oh, is that DS one?
DS one.
Gotcha.
Oh, there's two DS ones. There's WarioWare Touch and then WarioWare DIY. I have DIY.
DIY. That's crazy.
Yeah, I have DIY in the box. My
Mhm.
problem is I totally forgot I owned Touch, and I freaked out because it's not in the case. It's not in my house actually. My
Mhm.
sister has it, and I thought she was gonna argue with me about keeping it, but no, it's at the house. I just gotta go pick it up.
All right, fair enough.
It's at her house, but I need to get a case. And turns out that's the most expensive game of this lot. WarioWare. I cannot find a box. I got these boxes for like $10.
Whoa.
Okay, with the instruction manuals complete, right? WarioWare, the cheapest box I can find is $25, and I'm like, yo, homie, I don't want to pay $25 for a case. But it turns out that's the most expensive game of the trio. The game goes for like $80 to $90. I was like, what the? What are you talking about? It's WarioWare. But that's my life right now. I do have some limited run deliveries coming in next week. We'll see. Some pretty big games in those ones coming in. So, especially one game that is I didn't think they were gonna release it so soon, but if you know me, I like dumb shit. So you're
Okay.
one of those is very, very much very dumb. And I shouldn't own it. But you know what?
If you have a means.
I had to do it. I had to do it to him. You already know. But that's all. That's it. Yeah, I don't have too much. It was just not really pickups, just getting them to be properly displayed on the shelf where they belong.
Fair enough.
In the film museum.
Yeah.
In the film museum.
He said Phil, the film museum, yeah.
I'm curious as to what it's going to look like at the end of the Switch life cycle and like post you picking up Switch games.
Yeah,
you gotta tweet that over at Nintendo.
I'm debating on that. It depends on how Nintendo wants to do this. If
right, depending on the next generation of Nintendo.
Yeah, if they go the Xbox route and it's like one copy works on both, you know what I mean? Like it'll play the native version off like the cart. Then realistically, it's gonna make my life easier because first party titles are just gonna be those. But if Nintendo goes the route of, well, no, these games are exclusive to this version, and then this,
which they usually do,
which this is Nintendo, they'll do it. Yeah, I'll still be picking up Switch games until it's dead.
Only time they didn't was the Wii. That's
no.
what the GameCube discs worked on it.
Oh, you're talking about backwards. Oh, no.
Well, actually, doesn't Wii U accept Wii as well?
Yeah, Wii U does accept Wii games, but it doesn't accept GameCube.
It doesn't accept GameCube. That's it. That's rough.
Yeah. They always do this. They'll go backward, like up until Wii. Wii was the first home consoles that started doing backwards compatibility with them. Because you couldn't use NES on Super, you couldn't use Super on N64, you couldn't do N64 on GameCube. But with the Wii, they were able to do GameCube on Wii, and then they kind of got rid of that. And then you could do Wii on Wii U, but the Switch was like a hard reset. Like they needed to completely ditch the idea of home and portable and make it one thing. However, history shows with Nintendo's portable consoles, a lot of backwards compatibility is there. Game Boy to Game
doable.
Yeah, Game Boy to Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance, if you have a Game Boy Advance, you have one of the biggest libraries in gaming history. You can play anything. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, all of that's on there. If you have a DS, a regular DS or DS Lite, not DS Lite, you could play Game Boy Advance games and DS games.
I could have swore that's right. It was slightly too small for the other ones.
Yeah, it's the way it would fit in. Yeah, it wouldn't do it.
It's like it felt like it could. It was just a little too small.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I'm looking at it right now. Maybe.
Because it looks to be about almost the right size.
Oh, I see it. There's the little tabs. It fits for only the actual GBA cards.
I think people did modify it to where it could be actually able to do that by removing the tabs.
Yeah, maybe. But there was that, and then 3DS could play all of your DS library. So portable wise, they're known to do it. So I'm actually I'm more in the 70 to 80% range where I think the next console is definitely going to be backwards. And I don't mean some games like Xbox does. I mean full backwards compatibility. Like your library, you could pop that card in your new console.
It just works.
It just works.
Tom Howard's crying right now.
Absolutely. I think that's how they're gonna do it. It's a me thing. And then it'll be like 3DS where it'll have exclusive games and that cartridge will look slightly different to where you can't put that in a Switch.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah. Also, do you want me to start covering?
Yeah, I was gonna say that might be the next topic, but I was just to end this real quick on the one note. Because you were asking how it could work. Yeah, if Nintendo ends up going, okay, we're gonna release these games for this console, the new one, but the Switch is still getting its own games. Yeah, obviously I'm not gonna make the same mistake I did with 3DS. where I basically ignored new 3DS games while the Switch was out. Because
they weren't for very long, were they?
Yeah, dude, 2 years at least.
2 years?
2 years?
Well, yeah, Switch came out in 2017. The final 3DS game was
Kirby.
the beginning of 2020.
And that was 20. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kirby was like March of 2020.
Oh, what do you know? The pandemic.
Right when that happened, yeah. I know, because I picked it up for cheap.
That's insane, actually.
That's quite literally when we started having to do quarantine. It's March 2020.
Yep. Mark, this is the final 3DS first party game release. This is it.
Also, God Forno's requested us to stretch, so be sure to do so.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if anyone heard any bones cracking. Don't worry about that.
I'm not getting up, but I am stretching.
Fair enough. Do that like laid back cat stretch. And then we'll be like, oh, big stretch.
I got some good stuff in there.
Hell Phil, big stretch.
Big stretch. No. I made the mistake of I only picked up certain games here and there because I was like, how could I not pick up Luigi's Mansion Remake on 3DS? Or how can I not pick up Metroid Samus Returns? You know what I mean? Like, I obviously picked up things here and there. But overall, I missed out on some big titles. Like, I should have picked up Yokai Watch 3. That's gonna haunt me forever because that game is $300 now. And that's ridiculous. Like, I'm never gonna pay that price.
That's spicy.
Yeah. Like, I should have picked that up. I should have picked up Ever Oasis. I should have picked up like you know what I mean? Like, those are titles that all came out during the Switch's life. And I just didn't do it. And I don't want to make that same mistake again.
Gotcha. I guess as far as
there's going to be those remakes. There's going to be those ports that aren't going to be like exclusive to that whatever next console it is. It's going to be on Switch.
Mm-hmm. But you know, some things like change as long as like the developers are still kind of there. Then you could possibly imagine them having like a port over. Otherwise, those that have like long been gone. That is unfortunate, but at the same time, you can't really predict that either. Because I think Oasis is one of those games that I almost missed out on, but I decided to pick it up as they were announcing the closure of the eShop. I don't know.
Look, Nintendo can do whatever they want.
That's true.
You can't predict them. Them. We could sit here and make an entire podcast predicting things about Nintendo, and I can assure you, we would barely get any of it right.
Mm-hmm. In fact, we would essentially make our own company based on those decisions.
Yeah,
and we'll call it Bittendo. Bittendo.
Oh Lord.
Pretendo.
But
my God,
that's all I have to say on that matter.
Gotcha.
Mark.
He's
muted,
yes.
But in case he can hear me, Mark. This is a big Mark announcement because as I know, I don't keep up with the game too much. I stopped playing it a while back, but
what's going
Mark,
on?
Can you help me explain Smite 2? Because I think that it's an interesting announcement. Not in the sense that it's getting a sequel. I thought, obviously games get sequels like that.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is messing with me right now. It's either going up or down through clouds, and so it's either getting brighter or lower. So I have to keep adjusting.
Oh yeah, the like overcast. Hey, I feel it. I feel it.
I'm curious to understand because they're confirming that they're not shutting down servers for Smite 1. So what makes it different? Like, what? Give me a reason that I should have both installed on my console. And I'll let him sit on that because he's muted.
Mm-hmm. Because as far as I can understand, Smite 2 is going to be running on like the new engine, so therefore it requires like a whole new thing. Well, unless you're like Fortnite, but Fortnite's a like interesting case. And Fortnite is a really interesting case.
Yeah, Fortnite is very one of the few exceptions.
Yeah, because technically speaking, it's not even a release game.
Mm-hmm.
Like a perpetual beta type of game that can like literally just continue like adding on to itself.
You know what? If Mark is going to be muted, we can just do a quick other topic.
Sure.
While he's muted, and then when he comes back, we can do Smite 2.
Aye. Let's pull up that list.
I got you. We got this.
All right.
The other thing that I was playing this week, because I heard nothing but like good things about it, and the reviews are out. Oh, there's Mark. Mark,
Yes.
Smite 2, please. I just asked the question. I don't know if you heard me.
I don't think I did.
We
Mark,
just wanted some clarity about like the difference between Smite 2 and Smite 1 in the event that both are still servers that are going.
They will.
yeah.
They are. They confirmed that Smite 1 will continue.
Yeah, so I'm trying to understand what the point of Smite 2 is then. Because
Smite.
I think it's an interesting announcement because yeah, of course a game like Smite would get a sequel, duh.
Mm.
Right.
But competitively, why are we keeping both of them open? Is it like a preservation thing? Is there like a reason?
They gave some, and let me clarify. Smite 2 is a sequel in
Mhm.
every sense of the word, probably. From what I could tell, the game is going. Smite 1 was built in Unreal Engine 3,
Wee.
Yeah.
and the new one is Unreal Engine 5.
Sick.
It's a huge graphical update.
Okay.
And they are doing a couple of like certain gods who haven't gotten any updated love in terms of their models. Some are like Onhor. Onhor looks fantastic now. He was that lion in the trailer. He looks great. My first god I got to diamond. He looks great. So do other, and his ultimate animation is also different now. Like certain gods are getting their abilities updated in terms of animations or even new effects, new abilities, possibly his total. There's also going to be they're completely changing how relics or other items like that work in the game. Like they are more items are going to have active effects, or some might have some might just stick to their stats. One huge thing is we're not going to have physical and magical anymore. Those are being gone now.
Hmm.
Each god is going to have two stats, being strength and intelligence,
Hmm.
and you will be able to build any item, meaning their items are no longer separated between magical and physical items.
So, all right.
Interesting.
In layman's terms, then let me ask this then. Are you saying that basically they're both two different games?
Yes and no.
Like obviously the core gameplay's
The
there.
core gameplay aspect is still true. However, you can clearly tell from what I'm telling you, they're changing up a lot.
Yeah.
And a big thing people asked is, what about all the money I've spent with skins?
That makes sense.
Yeesh, yeah.
And that's where the legacy gems come in. Legacy gems are going to be a thing which essentially acts like a coupon for 50% off of any purchase you make in Smite 2,
Okay. Okay.
which isn't the best compensation.
Yeah, that's like.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing, but they still could have done better. Like at least they gave people something you could say, but it's like I can understand why people are a little upset about it if they're upset.
Fair.
But you will get a legacy gem, one legacy gem for every single gem you ever spent in Smite 1.
Hmm.
And if you buy the Founders Pack for Smite 2, you get double.
All right.
It's like, and
Right.
I think we'll see if they change their compensation approach a bit once they get a little feedback from how people feel about it right now. My friend Garrett was pretty upset about it. He was like, "That's kind of bullshit." I was like, "Yeah, you're not wrong. I can see where you're
It
coming from on that."
it does sound a little BS for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the reasons they gave to, because they said they cannot port every single skin into Smite 2, and they gave their reasoning, which I thought was actually pretty sound. It's that there's over 1,600 skins in Smite, and having all been made in the old Unreal Engine, if they were to try to port every single skin with the textures updated, with the quality and improvements made to the models and all the flair they would want to add to it to make it up to quality for Smite 2 and Unreal Engine 5, one skin for doing that takes 2 months.
Oof.
And if they were to try to do that, 1,600 skins, that would take over 200 years. Garrett said, "I don't know, man. That sound kind of cap." I was like, "I don't think it is, because honestly, if they're trying to work on those skins and bring them up to par on what they want for Smite 2, and if it really does, I imagine it probably does take days, probably a month of month makes sense if they're trying to get everything up to par.
Unreal
To
3
work
versus
efficiently.
5 too.
Yeah, it's a huge update. And so I don't think could they be exaggerating a tiny bit? Maybe. I don't think it's far off from the actual number.
Hmm.
And that's why I feel like it is kind of a hard spot for them because they want to bring Smite to a more modern and also like higher performance. But that does come with the caveat of not some of your favorite skins are not going to make it into Smite 2. And I think that's probably like the hardest thing for a lot of people.
I
That is
don't know.
rough.
And there's also the aspect of not every god is ready yet. Like
when are they dropping Smite 2, actually?
Smite 2 is expected to, I know a closed alpha is planned for spring.
Got it.
Spring 2024. I've already signed up for the alpha.
Damn.
All right.
And they've already confirmed Hecate, who is a Greek god that's been requested for one of the longest requests for a long time,
Sounds
is going
familiar.
to be a part of Smite 2.
Okay.
And then, of course, they've confirmed, you're going to laugh at this, I know you are, God 130 coming in Season 11 of Smite 1 is going to be Nut.
Nut. Like
Nut is an Egyptian god who is the wife of Geb, who's the father of Osiris.
whoa. Okay, so seeing the connect. Yeah, that was a crazy connection, but I got it.
They're also brother and sister, but that's neither here nor there.
Anyways.
It was a different time. It was a different time.
But you can also clearly see a lot of the model improvements and the graphical effects that Unreal Engine 5 has really improved upon. Like Chalk, he looks fantastic in Unreal Engine 5. So does Onhor and Anubis. Like, if you ask me, I think that while it's true, I think they need to improve the compensation aspect, and I think that the compensation is definitely the biggest thing that needs improvement. Because it is going to be a big ask with all the time and money you've sunk into Smite 1, it is a big ask to just go to Smite 2 and that's it. I think that's why they said out of respect for their players, they are leaving Smite 1 up and running.
Fair enough.
I find it interesting because Smite, keeping 2 servers up, it must not be cheap.
True, but they've also become a much bigger studio now, which is
this is Hi-Rez, right? Hi-Rez Studios.
Hi-Rez, which I believe now they're also called Titan Forge.
Interesting.
Kind of sick.
Which is they are running because they run Smite, they run Paladins, they run Rogue Company, and they run
I remember
Realm
Rogue
Royale.
Company. Rogue Company's fun. I wish I played it more, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Rogue Company's great, and then there's Realm Royale.
Realm Royale, yeah.
Yeah, those are all run by Hi-Rez, and of course they've had their other ventures into some Smite spin-offs like Smite Blitz and with their Smash Light game.
Oh,
which was fun. I like it. It's just that I don't think it got enough updates fast enough.
Yeah.
And then there was they've been a couple different things, but with Hi-Rez, I think that they're doing their best. They've always seemed like they really do listen to community feedback. Some people don't think so because of the balance patches, but the thing with the balance patches is they judge the balance of the game off of the pro leagues. Because that's people playing the game at the top level of play. Which I can understand why they feel like that's probably the best place to make the judgment, is because those players are playing the game to the elite level. So I can understand why they would judge the, basically what should be the balance based off the players who are playing the game literally the best.
Makes sense.
And people get very salty about that. I understand that. But I think in general, it definitely is odd that they might leave that they would leave 1 when they're doing 2, but I would tell people, let's look at some examples of studios that didn't do that. Let's look at CS:GO. CS:GO 1 is no longer a thing. CS:GO 2 is now the permanent thing. Overwatch 1 gone. Overwatch 2 is now the permanent thing.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people say, they missed the first game. They say that the game might have failed in certain aspects, like CS:GO 2 is very glitchy. Overwatch 2 failed to deliver on its PvE promise. Now, but the issue there is the first game no longer is a thing. So you're stuck. Whereas with Smite, at least they have enough respect for their players to where, like, yes, the compensation needs to work clearly, but they had the respect enough to leave Smite 1 available to play.
Mm.
To which I guess you could view that as they want Smite 2 to be the successor. They really do. But I think they might be leaving Smite 1 up, A, for respect, and B, as a fallback, in case Smite 2 is too adventurous for them at the moment.
See, I don't like that though. Well, I guess business wise it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because
It's
they
why you
say
still. It's like
yeah,
releasing a new console. You still support the old one because in case the new one isn't going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
in Smite 1, it is the de facto first third person MOBA. That's what got me to it. It's because like I tried League and I wasn't a huge fan of League. I thought League was cool, but I didn't like the top down gameplay. Smite was third person that really appealed to me, and I played Smite and I was like, I really want to get good at this. Like I want to learn how to play this game. And I did, and sure enough, I started playing every single role. I started to learn how to play any role that was given to me, whether I be a guardian, an assassin, a hunter, a warrior, a mage. Like I wanted to be an all-arounder.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's just certain roles I'm better at than others, but like I play warriors and guardians the most. My first role, I played a hunters more than anything, but then I got used to playing other roles.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we'll see how people respond to the compensation X. We'll see how Hi-Rez decides to respond to that, because I feel like right now that is probably going to be the hardest thing, is the compensation aspect. That's what people are going to be very upset about, is if the legacy gems are only just a coupon, then I think your better aspect would be either to give actual gems that we could be used in Smite 2, or at least make it a 50-50 split of legacy gems and the gems that you'd actually use.
Hmm. All right.
And all gods are not going to be available straight away in Smite
No,
2,
of
like,
course, of course. I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory, but some people.
because they need to have
They gotta get their
they all need to
faves.
be they all got to be upgraded. Like everyone needs to be upgraded, and Nut is going to be the 130th god in Smite.
There's a lot of them.
Yes, we have
Essentially, yeah.
130 characters that need to be updated.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more on the way, because there's going to be 5 gods in year 11 of Smite. So before Smite 2 is even a thing, there's going to be 134 to 135 gods in Smite.
Sheesh.
Man. All right. Thank you, Mark. I needed the breakdown because I couldn't talk about Smite like that. I just saw, wow, a sequel, but they're keeping both up. Why? And that's as much
But now
as
I get
far as
it.
I've
I
gone.
get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been playing Smite since I first noticed it when it came to Xbox, and then I
Mhm.
started playing it on PC, and then after my PC broke, I started playing it on Xbox with my friends who were on PC, because it introduced crossplay, which Smite was the first crossplay MOBA.
That's sick.
I played a lot of Smite 1 on my PS4. I played it with a bunch of friends.
Hmm.
And
It's a
that
fun
was about it.
game.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like if you work together as a team, you'd be amazed at the strategy you guys can come up with, things you can do. It's like it's very much a team game, but obviously you're gonna have some people that just know how to build and they're gonna carry your team.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we'll see how everything goes. I've been playing since probably 2016, 2017. I've been playing
Wow,
seriously.
dude.
And like on and off, like, I've had to, like, I used to play Smite religiously, but then I started going off it, get back on it, go back off it, get back on it, go back off of it.
Hmm.
I usually get on always for a fresh god release.
Fair enough.
Makes sense.
Like,
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
they do different things. Like, it's not just gods. They also do demigods. They do creatures from mythology. Like, they just added Bake Gojira, who is a whale yokai from Japanese mythology.
Sir, you made
Whoa.
that up. But anyways,
Sorry.
Sir, you made that up. Fake news.
Sir, that's AI generated.
absolute. Yeah.
Bake Gojira.
Mark, we're here. We're a serious podcast. Can you not give out fake news like that? Come on.
And of course, Smite's also gotten a bunch of different collabs, like all the Nickelodeon collabs. They had the
That's-
Avatar
Oh,
collab.
yeah.
I forgot.
Avatar.
I forgot about that. Thank you so much for reminding me that was a thing.
Like, there's the Gilgamesh buttered toast man skin
Incredible.
as he flies, his butt cheeks ripple.
That's
Incredible.
funny.
And of course, there's the Avatar: The Last Airbender collabs.
Yep.
That's right.
There's the Transformers collabs.
There's even Ruby
Ninja
as
Turtle
well, I
collabs.
think.
Ruby's got collabs. with Smite.
Crazy collaborations.
Even recently, V Shoujo, the VTuber agency, got a collab.
Oh
with
yeah,
Smite.
that's right. That's nuts.
And they've made polls say like what they would like to see, and one of the things that a lot of people ask for is Fate Grand Order.
I would say Motion Man actually.
Jesus. Hey, what the?
Like, I honestly, I could see, I would love, because one of them did say Dragon Ball or like anything like Shonen Jump. I was like Shonen Jump, a Shonen Jump thing that'd be cool to see. But like Fate makes too much sense because it's mythology, and
Yeah.
Hades would be another good one.
Oh, Hades. Yeah, okay.
I think like Fate.
I only know about the Fate series because the samurai game looks cool.
Oh, Fate Samurai Remnant.
That does
Yeah.
look pretty cool.
The game does like kind of tight.
I've seen a friend of mine playing it. It looks pretty good.
That's like the only reason I know about the series. Is that bad?
Honestly, it's
honestly,
surprising,
yeah. It
I feel
takes
like there's a lot of things. Just Fate's made its way around the internet to where I feel like a lot of people have at least heard of it.
Yeah, at least heard of
Yeah.
it. Maybe if you're like within like the mangas or anime scene a little bit more, then you hear more about the spin-offs, and therefore by proxy you'll hear about that.
But that's like Smite 2, I am looking forward to it. I'm optimistic about it. I'm wondering how the compensation aspect is going to change depending on the feedback that they're going to get from the community. I wonder if they'll stand their ground or if they're going to try to find a middle ground with the fan base. I'm sure that they will more than likely try to find one.
Well, Mark, I do appreciate the elaboration. It's also your stance about like the circumstances that a high risk has to deal with. On the opposite flip side of things, Phil, you're going to need to push on the clock right now. So about the other topics.
I'm just gonna push. All right, I got you real quick.
Phil said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, because what's going on is that we're gonna check out the PC that like is rebooting a lot, like at round 3. So we got some limited time going on here for the other topics.
So I'll make some of these quickly brief.
Okay.
And Mark, don't throw me on a tangent for this next one because I know we can go into it hard. But
100%. Probably
we
would
can
still.
talk about this after the podcast if you want, Mark. But Xbox did it. They're finally coming out next week. We got the Xbox Developer Direct. That is coming out on January 18th.
We'll talk about it next time.
And so we'll definitely get into the nitty gritty details next week for that because we'll have seen it. But Mark, the biggest thing that thing announces, or that thing announced, is that Indiana Jones is a 2024 game. Dude, finally, Mark, I have been so ready to see what that game is gonna be like. Machine
Actually, I
games.
feel like I'd be more excited if I was an Indiana Jones fan, but I'm really not.
I think I'm just excited to see. Okay, yeah, I am a big Indiana Jones fan, but my thing is, I'm excited just to see Machine Games make another game, man. They haven't made a bad game. Like all of the Wolfenstein modern games are so good, and then they're the ones that helped out with the Quake remasters. Like Night Dive did the majority of the work, but those new expansions, those are created by Machine Games. Those level designs. So, look, I am in the camp that says like that's one of the best Bethesda companies right now is Machine Games, and I'm ready to see what they got. I'm gonna throw you a curveball, Mark. I think Indiana Jones is a first-person game. I don't think it's third person.
This could be interesting.
It'll be a first person.
I think it's gonna be first person. I think that's why they're doing the 10-minute gameplay there, because they read the wording in the statements. They're saying to show you a new way to like. It specifically kind of hints at, oh, this isn't going to be what you think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a first-person shooter in some shape or form. And you know what? Machine Games makes first-person shooters. That's all they've done. So that makes a lot of sense. But not just that. Hellblade 2 is confirmed to be there. Ninja Theory is going to show off some new things for that. They have confirmed Avowed is going to be there, so Obsidian is going to show up. Finally, that. And then I don't know too much about Ava. I apologize, but Oxide will be there with Ava. I can't speak for Ava because I actually don't really know or not really interested in that genre. But the other three, those are all, Mark. Those are all for me some of the biggest first party titles they've got going right now, and I am ready to see. Also, big prediction right now out of that is they're gonna drop a game that day. They did it last year with Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh no.
They did it last year with Hi-Fi Rush. They can drop a random game that day. And what if it's the Banjo-Kazooie game, dude?
What if it... Well, I was gonna point out Rare, but it wasn't gonna be Banjo-Kazooie.
I might pass out. Well, no, because they're saying there's a Banjo-Kazooie in development, but Rare's not the one doing it. So who is it? I might pass out, dude.
Hey, relax.
I might, dude. I got Game Pass. I will literally get out of work early and come home to play.
Whoa, wait. He doesn't mean it.
No, I mean it. Don't tempt me, damn it. But no, overall, I'm excited for the direct. Mark, what do you think?
I think it'll be interesting to see because you never know. They might have some surprises in store for us.
Yeah. I'm just curious to see how Indiana Jones is going to play. Like, you know how Avowed is. Avowed is going to be Obsidian's, like, it's going to be the Fallout New Vegas. Like, to Fallout. Like, you know how New Vegas is to Fallout? Because Obsidian made that. It's going to be Avowed to, like, Elder Scrolls. It's going to be their version of that. And I'm really excited for that. Hellblade 2, I mean, Hellblade 1 is really damn good. So, I mean, I'm not even worried about that game.
Bro,
so
suppose a Banjo-Kazooie drop before Everwild comes out.
There has been rumors about that.
That's what I'm saying.
There's been rumors that it might be there.
So big hype going into the next week. I can't wait for that. Justin, anything you want to say before we move on?
It's hard to say because I honestly wasn't really looking into it just now. So you pretty much have covered everything. But I only hope for the best as far as like Xbox exclusivity stuff. Because Hi-Fi Rush was such a big hit. But yeah, next.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, Doc, I'm on real gamer shit right now. All the rest of these topics is real gamer shit. Let's do this.
Okay.
I almost alluded to it earlier, but let me just get through it. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown is coming out next week. Reviews are out. And
demo's out.
Really good. Yeah, demo's out.
Playing the demo before this.
I was playing the demo before this, and even a little bit during. And I'm gonna tell you right now, holy crap, it's really good. I am actually kind of upset at myself that I'm skipping out on it next week because money, but damn it, dude, it's a good game. The Metroidvania aspects are all there. It's got good combat. The pairing is on point. The visuals, I'm playing the Switch version, is outstanding, so I can only imagine what it looks like on like higher consoles. On top of that, it runs 60 frames on Switch, no drops. It's smooth. And I am hearing that they're claiming PS5 and Series X natively runs it at 4K 120 frames. So yeah, no, good game. Thank you, Ubisoft. I've been wanting a new Prince of Persia game forever, and it's turning out that this new Prince of Persia is the first big title of 2024. And that's a big achievement for Ubisoft. So good job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next gamer shit. This was random, by the way. So it kind of got leaked last year a little bit that Konami was doing some random collection of like, and don't laugh, all right? I know this is gonna sound weird, but they were doing some random Felix the Cat collection. If you don't know, I know, Mark. I know, but if you don't know, Konami owns Hudson Soft. They've owned them for a while. That's why they make the new Bomberman games. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hudson Soft back in the day created an NES game and a Game Boy game with the Felix, Felix the cat.
We're kind of running short on time, so I'm gonna just ask.
I hate you. You literally.
He pulled it up.
I apologize for you wanting to like build up the story, but I must ask.
He said, spade it up, spade it up.
Either way, Konami owns it. The point is, they decided that they're gonna let limited run develop the collections. I didn't know that part. I assumed they were gonna get physical copies to them, but they're using limited run's Carbon engine, the same engine that runs Shantae and River City Girl Zero, and the coming out this year actually, the Gex trilogy and Clock Tower remastered. That engine that essentially ports retro games to modern platforms effortlessly. They're going to use that to do 2 collections right now. So Konami has announced that these are not the only collections, mind you. They're going to they're already telling people that they're going to work with them in the future for other ones. The 2 collections in mind is the Felix the Cat collection, which includes the NES game and the Game Boy game.
Uh-huh.
All right. And the big one that everyone's freaking out about, including myself, these are literally bangers. It's the Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked collection. Includes the Sega Genesis game, Rocket Knight Adventures. It includes the Sega Genesis version of Sparkster, which is the real sequel. And it includes the spin-off on Super Nintendo, Sparkster. I know it has the same name, different games. They are all going to be included in this collection. This is the first time the original Rocket Knight has been re-released ever. I'm talking like it has never been re-released in any shape or form, virtual console, whatever. It's happening.
Okay, you're good on time. Keep going.
All right. So I am super excited to play these again. I love Rocket Knight Adventures. It's one of my favorite Sega Genesis games of all time. So to have it on my favorite console of all time, I'm excited. That's you got me. And Konami, like I said earlier, this is what it alludes to. Konami is telling people that while Limited Run is going to be handling the physical copy stuff, they are handling the digital stuff. So it is being developed by Limited Run internally, but Konami still owns the rights, so they're going to be publishing the games digitally on stores. But these are not the only collections, you see. They have also told everybody to stick around till February 24th, because on that date, they're going to announce another Limited Run Carbon Engine collection with Konami. And I can only imagine what that's going to be. I can only imagine. I think. Thank you, Mark. The thing is, like, I can't even predict what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Konami owns so many IPs and so many things. Like, is it a Bomberman retro collection? I don't think it's going to be Castlevania. I don't think it's going to be Contra. They already have retro collections for those. Unless it's the DS Castlevania games. I would lose my absolute mind if it was the DS Castlevania games, but I don't think it's going to be. You know what I mean? It could be like, I don't know, Adventure Island. It could be TurboGrafx stuff. I don't know. Who the hell knows? The point is, Konami is going to be working with Limited Run on releasing more of their older catalog. Thank you. These are games that are getting expensive. You know, Felix the Cat on NES is not a cheap game. So getting these games on modern platforms for people to own, thank you. That's all I ask. And then the final gamer, the big like retro thing I want to talk about this week is it was announced, and I'm glad it's getting the love. I don't know if you've noticed online, Justin, but everyone is so excited for this, and that is that Nintendo is finally bringing Golden Sun and Golden Sun its sequel, Golden Sun: The Lost Age, to the Nintendo Switch.
Let's go.
It is bringing both of the games to the Nintendo Switch Online service next week on Wednesday, January 17th. So, little bit of a sore spot. It is the original games on the NSO app.
All right.
Not a remake like some people thought it was going to be, but you know what? They're so damn good. You don't need a remake. They are literally some of the best JRPGs of all time. They're developed by Camelot. If you don't know who they are, you may know them for the Mario sports games. That's all they're known for. And that sucks because they also are the creators of Shining Force. So the Shining Force No, Shining Force is good, Mark. Shining Force is good. You don't do that.
Sports game.
Oh well, yeah. They make a bunch of sports games. Oh, real quick, Abraham says there might be a Nintendo Direct in the future. I'm gonna nip the butt on that one right now. Let me tell you right now. Duh. Thank you. That was appropriate, Mark. Let me tell you something. Nintendo always has a Direct in February. Whether it's a full Direct or it's not, they always have something to show off in February.
100%.
So I'm going to guarantee you right now it's going to be a Direct and then Pokemon Day. Because
something like that, yeah.
Pokemon Day always happens in February.
Always. It's
Always.
like, yeah, it's their birthday.
So we're going to get something big in February announced. You already know it. But yes, Golden Sun is releasing next week. I am so glad that everybody gets to finally play these. Nolan, you would be... Nolan out somewhere is screaming. Mark, if you don't cut that out, I'm gonna come over to where you live and kill you.
Hey.
But I love you, Mark.
Quack.
I'll do it with love.
Wait, what?
I love it. Makes it 10 times better. Yeah, I love this. I love the Golden Sun series. If there's a way to get the third game, which was a DS game, so that's why it's not being released. If there's a way to get the third game to complete the trilogy, I would be so glad. But yes, Golden Sun's coming. I'm glad everybody gets to try it. Justin, I've heard you have never played these games.
Never had the opportunity to do it. No.
Turn-based RPGs with Zelda-style puzzles and overworld.
It's going to be interesting to see how that like ages up.
And the music, you like the Tales of music? Same composer.
Oh.
Well, Tales of?
So,
I'm
yeah.
kind of so-and-so with them so far, yeah.
Yeah, his music is very 50-50 for me too. Like he actually has some good compositions.
Yeah.
But I forget the composer's name and I feel bad, but his music can be all over the place. He has a lot of those like I'm purposely throwing fast notes in here to make it sound good. Does it sound good?
Yeah. It doesn't feel like too memorable for most of those, but when it does hit, it does hit.
And when it hits, it hits. And Golden Sun has more hits than misses, so
we'll see about like a Gen 10, Ibrahim. We'll see.
Yeah, Pokemon. I think Pokemon-wise, I don't expect anything huge. I think it might be a Gen 5 remake. I think that
you know what? Fair enough. I like that.
Gen 10's probably at least 1 or 2 years away still.
Yeah, I don't think Gen 10 is the next one. I think it's going to be Gen 5 remakes. I think that if we're gonna
Legends
if we're
2
sit here and really, yeah, it's something along those lines. It might not be a Gen at all. It might just be Legends. It might just be Let's Go again. Who knows? It's just. Honestly, I'd be okay if they just said, "Hey, we're just dropping the Pokemon games on NSO."
Hey, you Pikachu, let's go!
Yo, I don't even care if it is a new release this year, Pokemon. If they just tell me, "Hey, we're gonna drop the Game Boy games," okay, sounds good to me. And then really, the only other Nintendo news was they dropped a trailer for Mario versus Donkey Kong that actually talks about new things being added to that game. Again, real quick recap. That game is a remake of a Game Boy Advance game, which is a spiritual successor to the 1994 Donkey Kong Game Boy game. And at first, when they said they're going to remake it, I was like, well, at least it's the good one, right? Like, because, like, you know, people don't really like the newer ones because it's just puzzle games. But this one is a puzzle platformer. So this one is actually a legitimate, like, level-based, you know, figure out how to get to the end.
Die.
Okay. And at first, I was like, that's a good game. I don't know if I think it's worth $50 good, like that kind of remake, but okay, interesting remake. Turns out there's going to be 2 new worlds, a casual mode for people who might get stuck, 2-player co-op, which was not in the original game, and the music's being redone in like a live band style. And you know what? You got me. You got me. New content and a new way to like to a new arrangement of the soundtrack and new 3D cutscenes. All right, you got me. You sold me. I'm in. I'm definitely still not picking it up compared to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but when I do, you got me. Like I'm more excited to play than I thought. And there you go. How'd I do?
That's pretty solid. Thank you.
Cool.
It was a lot for sure. Just like announced
there was
within
a lot of gamer stuff.
Yeah, which is good because I felt like we're just kind of getting like driplets here and there throughout
And
like last week.
I didn't even talk about Limited Run doing Cosmic Fantasy Collection. That collection's cool. So it's just turn-based RPGs from the TurboGrafx CD era. Some of the first ever like RPGs to have like voice acting and cutscenes in it. So very anime. If you like anime, you'll like that. It's the
anime.
Same people who made Valis.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So big anime. But we only ever got the second game, Cosmic Fantasy 2. And it's literally called Cosmic Fantasy 2, but we never got the first game. So
we never got the first one. So
we only got the sequel.
History repeats itself.
So these are not going. The big controversy that people are upset about is that it's not going to be the English dub. So it's not. It's Japanese with sub. And this is going to be a whole ass topic on its own. So I'm just going to keep it brief. It was the dub was done by Working Designs, and let me just say, historically, without Working Designs, a lot of anime fans would never have got to experience Japanese games. I understand, but they took a lot of liberties with how doing the dubs. Think about it like 4Kids.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, if you think about it in that sense,
now you hearing this?
Yeah, they took a lot of liberties with the dub, and there's like weird translation issues. But to their credit, without these games, we would have never gotten these games out of Japan into America. So, and we would have never had these fans to begin with. So, in that regard, yes, historically, Working Designs should be remembered. But at the same time, if there's a way to present me the game with the original intention, I'd rather take that. That's my stance on that. So, getting these two games, especially since we've never gotten the first game in English, I'm in.
Thank you, Naya.
So you know what I mean? So that's for me. I'm ready to play these. I'm ready to experience these. I've never played these, but I've always heard good things about Cosmic Fantasy. And just real quick, just like Valis, where the third collection, it does exist and they might do it in English. There is a Cosmic Fantasy Collection 2 that includes, again, Japanese only sequels 3 and 4 part 1 and part 2. So if they bring that to America as well, cool. Thank you, Limited Run, for doing all these retro releases that I would never have gotten to play. Oh, and I might as well tell you, Mark, I'm sorry about the Xbox because none of these are coming to Xbox.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's rough.
No, it sucks because Konami and Limited Run have stated, because people are upset because they're like, how are you going to do the Castlevania stuff for Xbox, but not the like Felix the Cat or Rocket Knight? You know what I mean?
They don't want to. I don't know.
No, their answer was that as much as they would love to bring, like they don't care about bringing games to Xbox. That's not the issue. It's business wise, right? It's all business. These games do not sell for Xbox owners. And Konami themselves finds it more viable to release this on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch because they know that the audience is there.
There's got to be some kind of gateway to that.
Like Limited Run is not opposed to bringing games to Xbox. They've done this. They've done it before.
It's like Konami doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, Konami is the one that's like, I don't know. But then again, it's weird because Konami supports it with Metal Gear, with Bomberman, with, like they released the Castlevania Advance collection on there.
That's
the anniversary stuff. It's all on there.
Yeah, I guess this depends on like sales, like by the units for each game.
I want to say it's because these are the niche Konami IPs. These are not like the big brands. These are not Castlevania and Contra. These are Rocket Knight and Felix the Cat.
I guess, but they are pretty iconic too in their own way.
Yeah, they are. They are. That's the thing. Rocket Knight for video game owners, huge. Felix the Cat is one of the most recognizable and like huge. Wow, I brain fart for a minute. He's literally one of the most iconic cartoon characters of all time. So why wouldn't you do that? I don't know.
Right. Oh, but I do see the Cosmic Fantasy collection here. That is an era of art style.
It's 90s anime, dude. It looks so cool. It's the same developed team that made Valis. So I'm really excited to play those.
Mm.
And the thing is, they might be mediocre, but it's the historical significance of those games, and that's why I want to own them.
Yeah, I get you.
But I hear those ones are actually good. So like Valis overall is all right. Like they the best game, which is my favorite Valis game is 3, and it's like it's still kind of mid compared to like other things out there. But it's the idea that these games are important. They ushered in anime fans essentially. Like we would have never gotten these games. It was like watching anime at the time on a video game console, and you would never get that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They helped bring those like out. So
Gotcha.
That's all I got. I'm tapped out.
Nice. Well, guys, I guess that's it. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Appreciate everyone for tuning in on this episode of the podcast. We should have our podcast as per usual the following Saturday. I'm just gonna be gone for like the entire week as I was trying to like work on this PC as well. So just pretty eventful over here, but it shouldn't interrupt the whole process of sticking around for the podcast time of stuff. So with that in mind, we'll see you guys in the next one. It's been episode 489 of DangIT Prodcast. My name is Justin.
Mark.
And I'm Philip.
And thanks for watching, everybody. Hashtag bye, everybody. That button didn't work.